Hello, my name is Shira and I will be going through the survey instruments that are used in Broward County during the point-in-time homeless count. As you learned from the PowerPoint presentation, the point-in-time count, also known as PIT, is a count of all homeless individuals in an area during a 24-hour period. As a part of our count, we conduct both a county survey and an assessment survey called the Vulnerability Index and Service Prioritization Decision Assistance Tool, better known as the VI-SPDAT, which assesses how chronic a homeless person is. In the following tutorial, we will be going through the most important parts of the surveys. Many of the questions are direct and don't need further explanation. Therefore, in the essence of time, we will just be going over key points. To begin, let's look at the top of the survey. This portion of the survey is critical. For each survey you fill out, you must put your name, the day, the time of day, and the point location or cross street. When you are dispatched from your North, Central, or South Region headquarters, your site captain will give you maps with various point locations. These point locations have a letter and number, for example, A4. If you happen to end up at a location that does not have a point on the map, you need to put the name of the cross street closest to you. For example, Sterling in US 1. If you have approached a person who does not want to participate in the survey, please check the decline box. Although this person has declined to participate, we still would like to have as much information as possible. Please fill out questions 4, 6, and 7 to the best of your ability and turn this survey in with the other surveys that you have completed. Question number 1 is, have you completed this survey earlier this week? If the person that you have approached tells you that they have filled out the survey, mark the yes box, but turn the survey in anyways. For number 2, please fill out the participant's first name and first initial of their last name. Number 3, ask for the participant's last 4 digits of their social security number. This may pose some problems with people who may not want to provide this information. If a participant is hesitant, please assure them that all surveys are confidential and none of the personal information will be shared. If they still refuse, proceed with the survey. Question number 4 asks, what gender does a participant identify with? When asking this, read all the options. This is a self-reporting survey, so even if you believe that a person is a female and they state that they are a male, you must report according to what they say. For question number 5, fill out the birth date. Please be sure to fill out the month, day, and year. Question number 6 asks if the participant is Hispanic or Latino. Fill out accordingly. Question number 7 asks for the participant's race. Please select only one. If they respond with more than one race, ask them if they consider themselves to be multiracial and select that option. Question number 8, where did you wake up Tuesday morning? If you are going out on the first evening of the count, ask the participant where they will be sleeping that night. If you are giving the survey on either day 2 or day 3 of the count, ask the question how it is written on the survey. If the participant tells you a place that is not an option on the survey, please select other and write down their response. For question number 9, write the city the participant woke up in. Question number 10, check the box that corresponds with how long the participant has been living in Broward County. Then check the appropriate box for question number 11 for how long the person was in Broward County before becoming homeless. Questions number 12 and 13 ask for the city and state where the participant last had their own apartment, house, rented a room, or lived with family or friends. Question number 14 asks if the participant was discharged from one of 4 facilities. Please check the appropriate box or select none or refuse according to their response. Questions 15 through 17 explore the participant's chronicity. Please check the boxes that correspond with the participant's responses. For question 18, check whether the participant has been attacked or beaten up while homeless. This covers the entire time that they have been homeless. Question number 19. What was the number one reason that caused you to become homeless? Please emphasize that we need the number one reason. If the participant lists more than one, ask them which one is the biggest reason and select that one. For question number 20, check whether the participant has ever been in foster care. Questions number 21 through 23, examine the participant's health status. Please check the boxes according to their responses. Also note that questions 22 gives you the opportunity to select more than one option. When asking the participant if they have any disabling conditions, check all options that apply. For question number 24, check whether the participant has ever been in the U.S. Armed Forces. Question number 25 only allows for one option to be selected. Please emphasize that you need to know their number one source of income and select that option. If they give a response that is not listed, check the other box and write in their response. Questions 26 and 27 both have two parts. For question number 26, first put the number of adults other than the participant who stays with the participant. If there is no other adult, please remember to write the number 0. If there are other adults, fill out each adult's initials, age, veteran status, and gender. Question number 27 has similar instructions, but this question is observing the number of children under 18 that are staying with the participant. This concludes the county survey. Now we will go over the important parts of the Vulnerability Index and Service Prioritization Decision Assistance Tool, or VI-SPDAT. The VI-SPDAT is a tool used to understand the needs of a person experiencing homelessness. It is organized across 4 domains: history of housing, risk, socialization and daily functions, and wellness. Before you begin to ask these survey questions, you must receive the consent of the participant. Please read the paragraph at the top of the first page of the survey to the participant and ask them to print their name, sign, and date the form. Once you have received consent, proceed by filling out the top portion of the survey. Please make note of 2 things. Throughout the VI-SPDAT, you will see stars next to some of the questions. These are repeated questions from the county survey. You do not need to re-ask these questions. Also, you will see a section for a pre-screen score to the right of each section of questions during the tutorial. You are not responsible for filling these scores out, and they will be removed from the surveys you are filling out during the count. Because of the length of this survey, I will not be reading each question. However, I will be filling each section out and giving more detailed explanations for the questions that require one. Questions number 1 and 2 relate to the history of housing and homelessness. Question number 1 asks for the total length of time the participant has lived on the streets or in shelters. This also includes any time spent couch surfing. Question number 2 is a repeated question. As I mentioned before, questions with a star are identical to one of the county survey questions, so you do not need to ask this again. There is a short script before you begin question number 3. Read this statement and proceed with the survey. Questions number 3 through 13 relate to risk and the participant's interactions with health and emergency services. It may be beneficial to give the participant a more specific time frame than what is provided in the question. For example, instead of saying in the past 6 months, say since July. Question number 4 asks how many times the participant has had an interaction with the police. An interaction with the police includes being the victim of a crime, the witness of a crime, or the perpetrator of a crime. Question number 12 asks if the participant has done things that may be considered risky, like exchange sex for money, run drugs for someone, have unprotected sex, or share a needle. This is often the first time in the survey that someone will attempt to provide more information than what you are asking for. If this happens, politely let them know that you would like to know if they have done any of these things. Questions 14 through 20 relate to socialization and daily function. Question number 20 is the first of 4 surveyor observation questions. These questions are not to be read out loud, but should be answered to the best of your ability. Question number 20 asks, do you detect signs of poor hygiene or daily living skills? You should be looking for signs of whether the participant's clothing appear appropriate for the weather, or is the person unclean or malodorous. Questions number 21 through 50 relate to wellness. Question number 34 is an observation question. Do you observe signs or symptoms of a serious health condition? You need to look for signs of open wounds, a hospital admission bracelet, or rotting flesh to be able to accurately answer this question. Question number 37 asks if the participant has ever used injection drugs or shots in the last 6 months. This is not referring to medications like insulin, but instead to illicit drugs. Question number 41 is another observation question. Do you observe signs or symptoms of problematic alcohol or drug abuse? Some things to look for are shakes, morning intoxication, puncture or track marks, or sores and blisters. Question number 42 asks if the participant has ever been taken to a hospital against their will for a mental health reason. This is not just asking about the time period while they were homeless. This covers the participant's entire lifetime. Question number 48 is the final observation question. Do you detect signs or symptoms of severe persistent mental illness or severely compromised cognitive function? Pay attention to if the participant is speaking in gibberish or if they attempt to communicate with people or things that are not present. The final page of the survey has questions that are meant to help us to better understand homelessness in our community. All of the questions are straightforward, but it is very important for you to capture the last 2 questions of the survey if this information is available. In the event that one of the participants needs to be contacted at a later date, we will be able to reach them or find them based on this information. Thank you so much for volunteering to be a part of the PIT crew and watching this tutorial. If you have any other questions, feel free to visit our website or contact Shira.